The first way that we can experience life is rationally, inside of our heads. There's a pretty good chance that you know quite a few people who live life in this way. Life who become so completely engrossed in the thoughts that they're thinking, their worries, their concerns, their worldviews, their ideas, all of the fears and insecurities and doubts that they have about themselves, the role that they are playing in the world, and about how the world is going to be for them. Then there's those people who experience life emotionally, on an emotional level. People who are in this pursuit of eternal happiness, people who are looking for that next emotional high. So some people who completely lose all perspective in life because of their overwhelming emotions and the feelings that they experience on a day-to-day basis. And then there's those people who live from a place of inner peace. And I know that you want that to be you, my friend. Fear not, we are going there. That's where I want to take you. Now, the purpose of hypnosis and trance work is for us as practitioners to channel our way through the rational ways and the emotional ways that people live their life and into something else. Because most people have never experienced anything else other than a life governed by thought or a life governed by feelings. So, here I want to help you understand the different expressions of hypnosis, how it is that you might be able to recognize how it is that you have perhaps been hypnotized or fallen into a place of trance at some point in the past. To open this idea up, have you ever been driving somewhere? Perhaps you've left home, you might have been driving to work, or you've been on your daily commute or something like this, and you just zone out. That's it, next thing you know, the doors are opening on the train, or there's a car honking behind you, or you've just turned up at work and you're not even sure how you got there. It's kind of like you zoned out into this other place. Well, for all intents and purposes, that's all trance is. It's where we channel our focus and our attention onto just one thing at any one given moment in time. Now, there are some people today in the business world and in the personal development worlds who are great examples of the different expressions of trance that I want to introduce you to. There's two types of trance. There is up trance and then there is down trance. Could you imagine how you would begin to feel right now if I was just to slow down my language and then you were just to become slightly more aware of exactly where it is that you're channeling your attention? I mean, what would happen right now if you were just to allow your mind to go completely silent? Would this be a new experience for you? For some people, it won't be. For some people, it will be. And what I'm hoping you might discover is that when we slow things down, when we allow ourselves to rid our minds of thought, we can step into a place of peace, which is what most people devote the entirities of their lives to working towards and discovering. So, trance can be used to relax minds in a down sense. Down trance, where we slow things down. We slow down the way in which we are communicating. Some people are going to live their lives at such a rapid pace. As hypnosis practitioners, we can use our language and our very demeanour to guide and influence the pace at which people live their lives. So, a great example of this being done, Pema Chodron. Now, if you've never heard of Pema, she has a couple of fantastic courses in Udemy. She's written, I think, around about 15 different books. She's a really influential thinker in the world of mindfulness practice. Now, to be honest with you, as much as I love Pema's teachings, her teaching delivery style isn't one that really works for me. Why? Because I'm slightly more up-tranced by nature. Now, what I want to suggest here is based upon your personality style or your kind of communication traits, if you like, is going to determine the state of trance that you would more likely relate to better, if that makes sense. Say, for example, you are naturally introverted. If you're naturally introverted, you're most likely going to be a bit more calm and slow-paced by nature anyway. All right, so what I've found over the years is that people who are naturally introverted are generally quite effective at leading people into places of down trance, slowing things down and helping to relax people's minds. Whereas other people live in this place of up trance. Up trance is a means by which we can capture people's attention. Now bear in mind we can also capture people's attention through down trance when we slow things down, and we can influence a person to transfix their focus onto every word that we say by guiding them through and out of the rational part of their mind or the emotional part of their mind. It's not just what we say, it's sometimes how we say what we say. You see, me, I would be naturally more inclined, because I'm a bit more extroverted by nature, to operate inside of this place of up trance. Because sometimes in life, people do not know the things that they do not know. And when me and you as individuals become far more grounded and aware within ourselves, we become far more enabled and effective at leading other people into this heightened state of self-awareness. But if you are paying attention right now, what you might be noticing is that I've just raised the tempo, I've picked up the pace. And if you're still following along, then that means I still have your attention, which means that I've just led you into a place of up trance, which is very different from down trance. Do you see what I'm doing here? You see, if I was to say to you right now that it's okay for you to be naturally inclined to go down or up, it's just a preference. There is no right or wrong. I'm hoping that you might be able to recognize that the way in which we communicate is always going to influence the degree of attention that other people assign onto us. Because the more attention that we can grasp that of other people, the more we're going to be able to influence. Hypnotherapy is all about leading people into a place of suggestibility and influence. When we have a person's attention and when we have helped them to relax their minds by stepping out of rationale and out of emotion, people become far more suggestible. And if our agenda as hypnotherapy practitioners is to build people up, not tear people down, we can use this not just to our own advantage, but also to that of our clients or those people who may go on to influence. You're with me? You're following on? So, up trance, a great example of this today. A gentleman named Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary operates inside of the business development, marketing worlds. He's got a background in sales. I think he's got a vineyard or something like this. Gary is a very energetic gentleman. He has a lot to say, and he says the lot that he has to say at quite a phenomenal pace. What I'm saying is, he's today one of the most popular and possibly controversial business development, leadership experts in the world today. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people follow him, they like his tweets, they watch his videos, he's got his own YouTube channel, and he pretty much communicates all of the time in this up-trance, high-energy way. It captures people's attention and he guides them on this journey. All I really want to show you here, if you're still following on, is showing you that there is no right or wrong. You're going to have your perception, your perspective of what you think hypnotherapy is, and what I want to show you right now and hopefully help you to be able to recognize is whether we go up or whether we go down. Doesn't matter. What the main thing is as long as we get people to where they want to be. Are you with me? We're only going to get people to where they want to be if we can capture their attention, relax their minds, and capture their focus. Their focus away from what they're thinking about, away from how they're feeling, and towards what it is that they actually want to achieve or accomplish in life. And what's true for us in terms of helping other people is also going to be true for us in terms of better influencing ourselves. When we become able to cut through the thoughts, the fears, the concerns, the emotions, the highs and the lows, and just become aware of what we're focusing on at any one given moment in time, we'll become far more effective at making wise, well-informed decisions about the things that we say yes to, the things that we say no to, and how it is that we ultimately invest our time.